Good afternoon, everyone. My name's Kerry Knoll. Some of you may have seen me speaking earlier today. I'm actually not, I don't work for Moon River. The reason I'm here presenting is the president of Moon River was unable to come. He had some family issues, and so he asked me to speak. The reason I'm familiar with the company very well is because my other company that presented this morning, Generation Mining, is the largest shareholder of Moon River. We own 20% of this company. And we are very, very impressed with how this company has been working. So this is a company is in the molybdenum business. Not everyone is familiar with molybdenum, so I'll talk a little bit about what it's used for, and then I'll get into the actual projects that we own. So we have two, the Davidson project and the Endako mine. Both of them are in British Columbia, Canada, which is one of the top mining jurisdictions in the world. The thing about molybdenum is that it has historically been one of the largest increases year over year in consumption of any metal. And that's really important. I won't get into too much of the people, but if you look at this graph, from 1950 till today, the average increase is 4.4% a year in consumption worldwide, and it's used as a steel alloy. So it does two things to steel. It makes steel harder, and it makes it stronger, more rust resistant. So stainless steel, high quality stainless steel has a lot of molybdenum in it, for example. But that increase, 4.4% a year, compares with copper, which is around 2% a year, nickel, which is around 2% a year. So it's been going up faster. If it was to continue to go up at that 4.4%, by the year 2050, the current consumption would triple from today. And there's hardly any new molybdenum mines being built anywhere in the world. There's only two in the entire world right now. Even if it only goes up at 2.5%, so that's the rate that copper's been going up more recently, the consumption is going to almost double by 2050. So that's the metric that is very important to this metal, and it continues to go up 4.4% per year, year in, year out. So as I mentioned, Moly is used in high strength steel, and the biggest industry that it's used in is the oil business. It's used for drill steel when they're drilling, these drill holes that go 2 kilometers into the earth. They use a lot of molybdenum because they need that steel to be strong. In pipelines, on the other hand, oil pipelines, gas pipelines, oil is very corrosive, and it needs a high percentage of molybdenum. Just the insurance companies actually require pipelines to have a high percentage of molybdenum, and that's one of the reasons molybdenum has no real substitute. Going forward, it's also used a lot in wind turbines, again for strength, in nuclear power plants, again to prevent corrosion, and in geothermal plants. So those are three growth areas, but most of it is still going to be going into oil and to general stainless steel projects. So where does molybdenum come from? Well, it's the China story all over again. Most of it comes from China, and as we all know, China has in the past and could in the future cut off supplies to the rest of the world if they feel like it. And therefore, molybdenum has been designated in Canada and the United States and in Europe as a critical mineral for the future. They're trying to get supplies. There's a company out of Denmark, for example, trying to build a molybdenum mine in Greenland, and there's us in North America, and there's another company in Nevada, but there's not too many of us. And on the left there is the historical price, so you can see going back 10 years it was only $5 a pound, and it finally spiked up in about 2023, and right now it's around between $20 and $25 a pound. I think it hit $27 a pound a few weeks ago. So it's been good. It's a great price. Our cost to make molybdenum is going to be much below that. So we have two projects. This is an underground deposit in British Columbia, inside of a mountain. It's got a net present value of over $1 billion. Don't forget, we have a market capitalization of $30 million. So it's almost 30 times what our current market cap is, the net present value, and this is only one of our 2 projects. And the CapEx is about $600 million, and it's got a 32% internal rate of return. Anything over 25% in mining is considered very, very good. So having a 32% on a base metal is on the high end. And it's also got a 2.3-year payback. I won't get into too much of it. This is what it looks like. This is Hudson Bay Mountain in British Columbia, and that is the actual shape of the ore body inside the mountain. So there won't be any surface expression. When this is mined, it's going to be mined from this side of the mountain. We're going to tunnel in, and there won't be any sign outside of the mountain that anything is happening in there. So environmentally, it's a very benign project. And almost all of the tailings are going to be going back underground after we process them. And even the mill itself, which is really unusual, is going to be underground. Everything's going to be underground. I won't get into that detail. So we also own 25% of a much larger project. This is the Endako mine. And some of you who may remember the Blue Pearl mining story from the 2000s and 2010s, one of their mines was called Endako. And Moon River currently owns 25% of it. This mine is ready to go. It's not in production currently. It hasn't been in production for 10 years. When molybdenum went down to $5 a pound, it closed down in 2016. But to build this mine today would cost $2 billion. And it's sitting there all built. The mill was only completed in 2013. And so it's only operated for 2 years. And it's like I say, it would cost $2 billion to build this mine today. And we own 25% of it. The other 75% is owned by a company called Centerra, which is a copper gold company. And they're not that interested in molybdenum, so they haven't been advancing it to production. We're trying to negotiate a deal where we can take control of this project and finance it into production. So that's what's happening with the Endako project. And again, it's got a net after-tax net present value of $790 million. So if you add those 2 projects up, we're close to $2 billion with a $30 million market cap. And this has a 40% internal rate of return. To bring it back into production is probably half, is $550 million. Half of that's mining equipment. The other half is just refurbishing the mill, and hiring the people and getting it started, because it's a very, very big mine. We're talking about going in at 70,000 tons a day of just ore, and another probably 150,000 tons a day of waste rock. So over 200,000 tons a day, every single day of ore. A big, big mine here. And this is, that's what the mill looks like. Those are just some photographs of it. And in the center, this is all on the website if you want to look at it in more detail. It's got over 300 million tons of reserves, and at 0.07 molybdenum. So that's a grade that both of these projects, Endako and Davidson, will be able to make molybdenum for under $10. And as I said, it trades at about $22 or $23. So this is, again, too much detail for this presentation, but we also are looking at ways to even improve on those numbers using, in fact, there's some German technology that we're looking at, also Chinese technology, to do something called ore sorting. So basically you have artificial intelligence looking at the rock and saying, okay, this is waste and this is ore, and you can increase the grade through the mill that way. And we're looking at that. That doesn't count. In our economics, we haven't included this, but we're doing a lot of work on it, and it could be a big thing in the future. And this is just getting some detail onto the different types of ore that we're looking at using for the ore sorting. This is the company then. There's fully diluted 43 million shares outstanding. Currently, only 37 million shares outstanding. A $29 million market cap. We've got. So research, the estimated price for this stock, which is now 76 cents, is to go to $4 from the one independent researcher that is covering us right now. And so there's always obviously a lot of room to move here. And it's a very simple story. It's molybdenum. Probably you don't see too many molybdenum companies, but this is world class, and this could be a very, very major mining company within the next couple of years. So that's the presentation. Thanks.